Every bit left that spacecraft over 16 hours ago. Every bit is telling us something new that we haven't known before.
The most distant human-made object in the universe is sending usable information to Earth again.
For more than 45 years, Voyager 1 has been moving away from Earth, carrying with it one of humanity's most ambitious scientific experiments. Launched in 1977, the spacecraft was never designed to last this long. Its systems were built with 1970s technology. Its onboard computers have less memory than a modern calculator, and its nuclear power source has been slowly fading for decades. By every reasonable engineering expectation, Voyager 1 should already be silent. Yet in late 2025, the most distant human-made object ever constructed began transmitting again.
In a remarkable feat of human perseverance, NASA engineers have re-established communication with the Voyager 1 spacecraft,
sending usable data from well beyond the edge of the solar system. What followed was not simply a technical recovery. It was a sequence of events whose timing, structure, and behavior forced engineers to confront questions they were never prepared to ask. At that moment, Voyager 1 was more than 15 billion miles from Earth, traveling through interstellar space. Its signals take over 23 hours to reach us. Any change in behavior must be autonomous. There is no possibility of real-time control. Then, during a narrow window in December, something unexpected happened. As Voyager 1 transmitted irregular data packets back to Earth, astronomers were tracking a newly identified interstellar object passing through the inner solar system, designated 3I/ATLAS. It was only the third confirmed object ever observed entering our system from outside the Sun's gravitational influence. Interstellar objects are extremely rare. Space is vast beyond comprehension. For one to pass through our planetary neighborhood is already unlikely. For a second event to coincide precisely with a spacecraft anomaly drew immediate attention. 3I/ATLAS was first detected on July 1st, 2025 by the ATLAS Survey Telescope in Chile. Its trajectory was hyperbolic, meaning it was not bound to the Sun. Like Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019, it was a visitor from another star system. But unlike the previous two, 3I/ATLAS did not behave in expected ways. Astronomers initially classified it as a comet based on faint luminosity and gas signatures.
It came from beyond the stars, it swept past Earth in silence, and even now it refuses to behave like any comet.
That interpretation did not last long. High-resolution observations showed that the object's brightness fluctuated in short, periodic pulses rather than following the smooth brightening typical of cometary activity. More puzzling was the orientation of its tail. In standard comet physics, solar radiation pushes gas and dust away from the Sun, creating a tail that always points outward. In images of 3I/ATLAS, the apparent tail pointed toward the Sun, an orientation that defies basic models of solar interaction. As global observatories focused on the object, its reflectivity also raised questions. Spectral analysis could not identify a clear composition. Light did not scatter as expected from rock or ice. Instead, the object appeared to absorb or redirect radiation in a highly controlled manner. None of this proved artificial origin, but it did place the object outside existing classifications. While astronomers studied 3I/ATLAS, engineers at NASA were dealing with a separate problem. Voyager 1 had been experiencing telemetry failures since 2023. Its flight data system had partially corrupted, forcing engineers to rewrite decades-old code to restore minimal communication. Those repairs succeeded, but the spacecraft remained fragile. In early December 2025, Voyager 1 began transmitting data packets containing irregular waveform structures. Initially, these were assumed to be noise caused by radiation damage or aging circuitry, but further analysis showed repeating mathematical patterns, harmonics that did not match known background interference. Then, the timing became impossible to ignore. Between December 17th and December 19th, Orbital modeling showed that Voyager 1 and 3I/ATLAS briefly entered a geometric alignment zone referred to internally as a signal corridor. For less than 3 hours, their projected signal paths overlapped in such a way that, if an active emitter existed, signal interaction was theoretically possible. Under normal physics, this should not matter. Voyager 1 is not designed to receive external signals beyond passive background radiation. Its transmitter is barely strong enough to reach Earth. Yet during this precise window, Voyager's signal strength spiked to its highest level in more than a decade. The transmission that arrived was different from anything previously recorded. Engineers labeled it Echorfraction 67. The packet did not contain standard telemetry. Instead, it carried layered frequencies repeating every 19.7 minutes. The signal was structured, internally consistent, and, most unusually, self-correcting. Each cycle refined the previous one, reducing error rather than amplifying it. This behavior does not occur in random noise. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory initiated a full diagnostic review. They confirmed that no commands had been sent that could explain the behavior. Voyager 1 cannot receive software updates. Its architecture physically prevents firmware rewriting at that distance. Yet the data structure implied logic layers not present in the original system. This triggered an internal safeguard known as the Watcher Protocol, a Cold War-era analytical framework designed to isolate signals exhibiting signs of non-random modification. It had never been activated in an operational mission before. The protocol does not declare intelligence. It flags anomalies that violate statistical expectations. Further analysis revealed another unsettling detail: Voyager's attitude control system. Tiny thrusters used to keep its antenna aligned with Earth had adjusted orientation without receiving commands. The dish slowly drifted toward a fixed point in space matching the projected outbound path of 3I/ATLAS. This adjustment could not be explained by mechanical failure. At the same time, Voyager's radioisotope power source showed a temporary thermal increase of nearly 2%, an effect inconsistent with its known decay curve. The spike lasted 42 hours before returning to baseline. No known physical process aboard Voyager can produce such a change. On December 21st, Voyager 1 transmitted what is now considered its final coherent packet. The data did not contain measurements or system logs. It consisted of 12 discrete tones, evenly spaced, forming a structured chord when converted to audio frequencies. Spectral analysis revealed that the chord encoded a geometric pattern. Details remain classified. Shortly afterward, Voyager 1 fell silent again. Meanwhile, 3I/ATLAS underwent a visible change. Its light pulses ceased. It no longer exhibited active emissions. Attempts to track it in radio bands failed as its reflective properties shifted unexpectedly. Some researchers have suggested that 3I/ATLAS was never a passive object, but a transient system, designed to interact briefly and then disappear. Others argue all observations can still be explained by unknown natural processes. No conclusion has been reached. What remains undisputed is this: Voyager 1 transmitted structured data it should not have been capable of producing. The transmission coincided precisely with the closest passage of an interstellar object. The behavior cannot be explained by known spacecraft failure modes. No evidence proves artificial intelligence or extraterrestrial origin. The event sits in a narrow and uncomfortable space between engineering anomaly and unexplained interaction. Science advances by refusing premature answers. For now, Voyager 1 continues drifting into interstellar darkness. 3I/ATLAS is fading beyond detection. And humanity is left with a dataset that does not fit comfortably within existing models. Whether this was coincidence, unknown physics, or something entirely new remains unanswered. What is certain is that the most distant messenger humanity ever sent did not go quietly. And the final words it returned are still being studied.
There's a mysterious interstellar object hurtling towards our solar system, exciting scientists across the globe.